delighted to be with Curtis here, Curtis Lewsey, who is co-author of an Amazon national #1 bestseller, which is pretty phenomenal, particularly in the stuff that we're into and what we're passionate about, and appreciation marketing and how to achieve greatness through gratitude. And Curtis, what led you to writing the book?
Well, my business partner, Tommy Wyatt, and I, we were traveling around the United States, Canada, and we were doing appreciation and gratitude seminars as it pertains to business. You know, what you send out in life is what you come back. And, you know, we were talking about principles they can implement in their business and stuff. And what we realized is that all the stuff that we were saying was all common sense. It just is not common practice. And people's jaws were like wide open, like what? They couldn't get enough of it. And they just need to be reminded of the importance of relationships as it pertains to business.
What do you suggest to business owners and managers? You know, what's the #1 thing that they forget that they probably shouldn't forget and should be more top of mind?
Well, saying thank you. I mean, you can't say it enough. You definitely, you know, as kids, and we're always taught by our parents to say please, say thank you, say please, say thank you, and then over time, you know, the please, you know, kind of gets subsided, and then the thank you as well, and not only in our business life but also our personal life. You know, so I mean, there's a story that one of the things they say, how did you go to write this book? It was years before when I was in corporate America. I was in corporate America. It was a publicly traded company, and I was taught to look at people as dollar signs and numbers. Everybody had a number or a dollar sign on their head, and it was go get them. You eat what you kill. And every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year, you started over at zero. There was no such thing as reoccurring revenue, which I know that you're a very big advocate upon. And so I wasn't focused on relationships. It turns over to customer service. And the day that it turned around for me was during the holidays. I was out on a truck delivering. I sold really sexy products like toilet paper and air fresheners and soap, stuff that everybody needs, right? In bars and restaurants. And I was on a truck, and I had the rugs on my shoulder because they had laundered the rugs and the aprons and the towels and uniforms and stuff like that. Major company, multi-billion-dollar company in America. And I hopped on the truck, and I went, and the driver, I was asking him, I was like, tell me about your wife, tell me about your kids, where do you live, where'd you grow up, what do you like to do for fun outside of work? And we built this relationship. And he asked me, what is a great referral for you? And I said, you know, if you see a sign that says under new management or under new ownership or coming soon, that's a great referral, because usually the first person in the door gets the business. Yeah. So what happened was I bought him a sub. I bought him a Subway sandwich, not very expensive, and the next day I got 2 referrals. Yeah, right. And they didn't close, but the next week I got another one, and I put another sandwich in his locker with a little note on it that just says thank you. And that next referral did close, $1,000 commission. It put me at a different tier. I got another $3,000 commission. Everybody was calling me lucky. And I realized what is the magic in business and life is creating, building, and maintaining relationships. And that's kind of like, then fast forward a couple years later, I ended up being in this profession of teaching business owners, implementing little appreciation marketing principles and strategies. And everybody thinks that it's an event. Like, if I do this, then this will happen. Well, yeah, in some cases, yes. But everything in life, whether it's creating wealth, like you teach, and change management, what you teach, everything's a process. And you got to start someplace, right? And instead of just saying, okay, this is my end result, how are you going to get there? Yeah. What's the vehicle? How do you go about making that happen? Yeah, fantastic. And Les, pardon me, Les Pickett's with us as well. And Les, you've done some work and some research in terms of customer retention and customer appreciation in Australia, and what have you seen?
What we found is a major study conducted by the Australian Institute of Management. Nearly 1,000 senior executives were involved, and they were clearly of the opinion that their organisations had become soft. They'd lost the drive to chase sales because of the mining boom and all the benefits that went with that, and that really they were very poor in terms of their client relationships and building the business and getting and maintaining the client base through more aggressive, I guess, better sales processes.
Yeah. Curtis, what is the hardest thing for business owners to come to terms with when it comes to appreciation marketing? Is it the simple things? Or is it actually mapping out a strategy that you can actually, you know, have with some consistency? What do you think is the #1 thing people should think about in trying to to show appreciation to their existing clients. And
I think one of the challenges for everyday business, and as when we wrote this book in 2008, we published, I got it out in 2009. You understand what the financial markets did in 2008. And I think the one word that sums it all up is reinvent. Because people need to reinvent themselves. The people that are surviving are the ones that thrived before. So how did you get through the tough times? It was a weeding out process on a lot of professions, right? So one of the things that we like to share is that, in small, you get so caught up in all the everyday things that you got to do as a small business. And we don't realize that there's gold that lies within our database. And there is, and to be able to mine that gold, to be able to have them like you, trust you, understand you, refer you to your next, you're smiling. I know you got something you got to say about that, but that is what we talk about a lot. And instead of always trying to go get that next sale, I got to go get that next client. Yes, definitely focus on that, but take a couple of minutes every day and put together, and we're going to talk about that. I'll share with you, I'll give you actually a couple things at the end of this where you can just spend 5 minutes a day and put together a strategy and start a process. It's not going to cost you, well, little to no money. And I'm not going to say sign up here and click down below. It's just, we like to add a lot of value because we know that this stuff works. Yeah.
Look, David Lewsey and I are really passionate about list building, database building, and even database management. And I think the biggest mistake I see in business is that we're working with clients, aren't we, that have got 10, 15, 20-year businesses, and they haven't even just built their existing database to a reliable level, where the existing clients are accurately there, that they can communicate digitally with them, send them an SMS, a text, or instantly email the whole group. I think that frustrates me because it's common sense that's not common. It's the administration behind marketing that in fact makes it so easy, right? And we don't do it, so marketing's more difficult.
And like there's a little saying that we like to say with appreciation marketing is be remembered and not deleted. What can you do to get people to open up that email? What can you get to people actually read your stuff? And how do you do it? Is you do it by providing value. You do it by give. And then when you ask for the sale, people want to throw their money at you. I mean, I have a friend of mine in the States that runs this big-time blog. He's got over 300,000 likes on Facebook. He's a master at what he does. And he provides video content to help your business out. Probably 3, 4, 5 videos a week, 2 to 3 minutes, and he's built this list for 2 years, never asked for $1. He makes millions and millions of dollars now because when he says hop on this webinar for $29, people can't wait to throw down their credit card to get on that because of what more can he possibly give me? But it's hard because when you're dealing with the everyday stresses of business, sometimes it's hard to kind of step outside yourself a little bit, look back into your business from 10,000 feet and say, what else can I do? Because I feel like I'm doing everything I possibly can.
Look, that's so great to hear that because I think what we see that human nature in business is we're very short-sighted. How do we survive the day? How do we make payroll? Pay the wages for our employees? How do we make sure we get through the next month? And that consumes people. And so they forget that it may only be a short, that's going to always be there. You're always going to have those issues along the way, but what you're talking about is the greatest insight because it's about making sure 2 years, 3 years from now, you're not in that position because you've actually got the strategy. You've got a philosophy. I think you're talking about a philosophy. Right? Not a strategy. It's a philosophy that drives your strategy.
True. Very true. And in the book we like to share like a lot of little fun little things because we want people to be conscious of how they're reacting. You're a walking billboard. You're promoting yourself everywhere you go. Smile more, smile often. Things like we talk about the 7 deadly creatures to avoid becoming. And these creatures, I was every single one of them. I was one of them. I know, Les, we were talking about this, and you were as well. And over time, and I just want to share a couple of these creatures so you can understand. Chapter 2 is if only I liked you. With all things being equal, people do business with people that they like. And one of the 7 deadly creatures we talk about is the sucker. And the sucker is like, there's an old poker saying that if you're sitting at a table and you can't identify who the sucker is within the first 2 minutes, it's you. So that's great. So we're not talking about that kind of sucker. We're talking about the energy sucker. Some people call it the energy vampire. And so like situation. John, your mobile phone rings. You look at it and you're like, yeah, no. It just drains the energy right out of you. You know, you look at the phone and immediately you're thinking, yeah, maybe I'll call him back later. Or you see just the sight of somebody's name in your email. You don't even want to open it up because you know there's going to be doom and gloom or something. It just drains the energy. But here's the question that I want everybody to ask themselves. What happens when you call somebody else and they see your name on their mobile number?
Yeah.
Are you an energy giver or are you an energy sucker?
Yeah.
And that's something to just be conscious of, like in your everyday routine. We have another one called the puker. And this was me because when I first got started, I was so excited about what I did, I didn't listen. And there's a quote that goes back way, I don't even know who said it, but you know, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Correct.
And it's so simple and so profound that we take up an approach with appreciation marketing. Make it be 75% about that person. Make their light shine, because when you call them and say, "Would you like to grab a cup of coffee? Are you open to meeting up? I'd love to understand more about your business, see what we might be able to do, what kind of synergies might be able to happen." They're absolutely, let's do it, because they remember that. But if I'm at that networking event and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I sell insurance and we got this product and that product and you know you can do this one, that one, and oh yeah, you just mentioned that you have kids and we're gonna have to be able to insure that, and you got a boat, we're gonna have to do that, and I can do this umbrella thing, we can save you money and blah 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 blah." And it's like, no, it's like you're just throwing up all over that person and it smells. It's insincere, you want to run away, and you get so excited about what you do, you forget what is the root of all business, and that's, you know, relationships. Another ones that we talk about is the topper. The topper is this one is a creature that is harmless, but we all know them. No matter what story you have, what you do, there's always somebody that has a better story, a bigger, brighter, shinier. They went on that better holiday. They got the nicer car, you know, and it's an art form to let other people shine. Yeah. You know, you have a 50-inch flat screen TV and, you know, I have a 60-inch. And next thing you know, like, you're talking to me about this big Blu-ray, you know, system that you just got for your big old television, and I have the same thing. And I could easily belittle you right now by saying I have this one with this and all the soups and nuts and mine's bigger, better, faster, and I don't. But when you come over to my house for a party or something like that, and you say, you know, he's a cool dude. Like, you know, it's just one of those things where it's just an art form to let other people shine. So when you're in a networking setting, you know, lift other people up. Don't knock them down. It's just it's principles that and that's what this book is for. It's just to consciously open up your eyes and start having you realize. See yourself in these situations so you can stop it. And in a moment, you can say, "Oh, I'm going to pull back a little bit."
That's fantastic. I mean, what I talk about is the how, and this is the what. You know, this is what we need. Curtis is talking about what we need to do. You know, and I suppose philosophically, what I see is people lack self-esteem. They don't know what it is about themselves that is how they come across. You know, so we're always working on their mindset, their self-belief system, how do they actually physically resonate with other people. And I think you're talking about some fantastic tools, and if they get their mindset right and their self-belief system right, these tools that you're talking about could be so powerful and so effective. True. And as you say, it's how do they come across, you know? Yeah. How do you come across?
And it's easy to like go the other way. Like, let's say there's a time and a place for sales and marketing, asking for the sale. Then there's a time and a place for appreciation and gratitude. But when you cross over, there's a fine line and you become insincere. So let me give you an example. John, it's your birthday. I send you a greeting card in the mail. You're like, wow, this is very nice. This is really cool. It's almost like I'm on the other side of the room and I have a piece of chocolate cake, or what you think is chocolate cake. See, chapter 5 of our book is called Chocolate Frosted Dog Crap. Difference between being sincere and insincere. So I bring this chocolate cake and I bring it over and I set it right down in front of you. It takes you all of about 2 seconds to realize that's not chocolate cake. That smells. It's what we call poopaganda. And you end up taking that and you throw it in the garbage and you throw it away. Yeah. Well, how does it make you feel? Right? So if I sent you that greeting card, from a distance it looks like a nice piece of beautiful, delicious chocolate cake. However, you read it, "Hey John, happy birthday. I hope everything's going great with your family and your business. I see that you're traveling on it. That's wonderful. Let's catch up soon. P.S. The greatest compliment in the world is a warm referral. Yeah. Oh, by the way, John, just want to let you know I'm never too busy for your referrals." It's a totally different energy now. That card that I sent you, it becomes disingenuous. You end up taking that and you throw it in the garbage because it becomes crap. But if I left that bottom off of there, and that's sitting on your mantle, because you're thinking, wow, that was really nice. Nobody else sent me a birthday card. Heck, my family members didn't even get me one. So we like to say in our business is be remembered and not deleted. Because those are the type of things that allows people to remember you and like you and trust you, understand you, and build that top of mind awareness.
Fantastic. Yeah. Les, do you think there's any contradiction in the Australian market to what Curtis is talking about? Is it really, these are global issues, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. And there's no difference. I mean, people are people. Wherever you go, and I've been to many countries, as you know, the underlying thing is people like to be respected and recognised.
Yes.
And it strikes me as being the ultimate in stupidity of businesses treating their people like statistics and dollar signs, not recognising it is people to people, regardless of whatever process or system you're using.
Your recognition, we talk about it all the time, and when you implement that kind of stuff, how do you motivate people? They say recognition, babies cry for it, men die for it, and it's so true. And you take some businesses like Mary Kay Cosmetics, for instance, a $1 billion cosmetics empire around the world. She built her whole business based on appreciation and gratitude. She says that everybody's walking around with an invincible sign around their neck that says, "Make me feel appreciated." Think about that for a second, right? Yeah. I thought that's brilliant, and it can be worth millions and millions of dollars for people that are putting out their content. Are you recognizing, letting other people know that they're special? Because I guarantee nobody else is doing it. So if you do it, you become loyal clients. You have loyal people. Tom Hopkins, familiar with Tom Hopkins, worldwide sales trainer, talks about the thank you note habit. He built a 99% referral-based real estate business, all off of, he said, every day I'm going to send out 10 notes to people. Thank you for your business. Thank you for I appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. Thank you for the referral. All these different situations that forced him to think about the good. And now after 3 years, he's building systems and teaching it all over the world and selling tens of millions of copies of books. And it seems so common sense, but like I said in the beginning, it's not common practice.
Yeah. What got you on this path originally? I know you told the story of learning, just on the street, with someone in the large cleaning business to actually get referrals. But what made you realise that this should be, this is maybe your calling, and this is something you should take really seriously and get out there and share your message?
Well, one of the things that kind of got me early on was that when I was going to businesses, and we were not the cheapest. We were actually more expensive, and we had to sell on service, and more importantly, I had to sell on me. And so I had to do something to separate myself from the competition. And when I was, and I know I'm big on greeting cards, and it's different because when you go to your letterbox and you go open up, it's junk mails and bills, and there's not very much great energy around it. Everything. It's like you sort right over your recycling container. Nope. Oh, what's this? Oh, Aunt Sue sent me a card. Nice, I'll put it over here. The personal mail gets always opened up first. And so that's why I like to, people always want to expedite the process of thank you these days. Text message, Facebook, email, whatever it may be. And even if you get one, that's still huge. But, do something different. And so when I was in business and I was sending out these, every time I met with you, so John, if you owned a pub and I wanted to market my services, I just presented to you. Obviously, there's value there. Now, if you're going to make a decision, what I would do is I would drop a note in the mail and say, John, it was a pleasure meeting with you. I just want to let you know I appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. I mean, I'm forthright. I want your business, and I just want to let you know I appreciate it. And even if you don't give me the business, I'm thanking you anyway. Because you know what? Over time, when that other customer does not deliver, they're coming back to me. They might leave, but they realize maybe the grass is not greener over someplace else. Water your own lawn. So it can be right here.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So how do Australian businesses get started? I'm sure it's no different for anyone else anywhere in the world. How do we get started?
Okay, everything's a process, and it's not an event. So I hope that you can just take just a couple of bits of pieces of this advice, and I'm going to give you some pretty much free advice first, that you can go out there and it's not going to cost you any money. I'm not asking for any money right now. Here's what I want you to do. If you're on LinkedIn, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick one person that's in your life, that's an influencer, maybe somebody that's been an integral part of your business. Either they gave you a lot of referrals, they were a strategic partner. I want you to go to their page and write a recommendation, a true, heartfelt, unexpected, genuine recommendation. And I don't want to just talk about business. Yes, there's the underlying, it is about business, but I want you to be able to say something about their character, something about their integrity, something about who they are as a person, not just as a business, because that holds more weight when somebody's reading that recommendation. You know, John, I really admire what you do in your business, but I, you know, even more admire what you stand for as far as your family and your values and your character. Anybody would be silly not to do business with somebody like you. You know, whatever it may, that's just off the top of my head. Do one of those a day. Okay, and see what starts happening. I taught this last year or a couple years ago when I came down here. I was doing an appreciation marketing tour around Australia, and there was a copywriter that I met. She did it. She had thousands and thousands of dollars coming back into her within 10 days. People that were just like, oh my gosh, there's this project, there's that project. Claire, could you quote me on this? Could you help me out on this? And it was just creating that top of mind awareness, but she wasn't asking for anything, but it did come back tenfold. So that is something I write down first and foremost. Get a post-it note and write down, who can I appreciate today?
Yeah.
And you know what? Just as much as you do it in your business life, do it in your personal life. Because, you know, it's so easy to be able to communicate with our clients and our prospects and do an excellent job there, and then maybe not do such an excellent job at home. In the past, have been a victim of that, and I had to get woken up and realize that, you know, what I need to do for my family and my friends, and just as much as I do it in business. So I think that we all can relate to that. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go get 60 greeting cards. That's 60. And I want you to, for 30 days, I want you to send one card to a family member or friend out of appreciation and gratitude. Send them a card. And I want you to send one card to a client for 30 days. Just write up a card and send it on out. And then the only other thing I want you to do is I want you to look through your list, and for the next month I want you to pick out 4 people and set four lunch appointments, 1 a week for 4 weeks, with those key strategic influences in your life. Maybe you just haven't had the time. Maybe you didn't feel like you had the time to do it. But there's a quote that I love. It's one of my most favorite quotes, is that there's never enough time to do everything, but there's always enough time to do what's most important. If you get a call right now and one of your kids is sick or injured or something, you're leaving this interview right now and you're going there.
That's right.
Absolutely, because it's the most important thing. So if somebody looks at putting together an appreciation marketing strategy in their business as being extremely important, because it's so hard sometimes, because everybody wants, and David, we talked before, people want calculated return on investment. If I do this, what can I get? Well, an appreciation marketing strategy is sometimes very difficult to measure that. Measure it. Yeah. You just got to do it. And so I want you guys all to do that. And it's going to cost you little to no money. Some postage stamps, a few greeting cards, a LinkedIn recommendation, and that. Oh, and here's one thing that I want you to do too. This is something on the personal side. When you go home, if you have a partner, I want you to write a nice little appreciation note. Open up their gas tank, their petrol little flap, and put it right in there and shut it. Just write a nice little note, and just see what happens, because it's the little things in life that mean the most, and don't think that it crosses over. So when you create the habit in one aspect of your life, and you're big on this, I mean, you talk about your blueprint and change management, you know, it carries over in other aspects of your life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that is absolutely sage advice. That's fantastic. Curtis, where can we buy the book? Because I think, you know, I've got 150 members in our program that right now are saying to themselves, I've got to read this stuff.
Okay, so you can get on Amazon. You just Google appreciation marketing, okay? We just actually rebranded a little bit. We're changing publishers, so we're going to be re-uploading more copies if you have a little bit of an issue getting it. But you can download it as well, and you can read it on your iPad, tablet, so that's good to go. But the other thing that I want to do, John, is we actually have an aspect of our book in a short little ebook that we'll just give to you. And,
awesome.
And you can send it out to everybody.
Yeah.
And my business partner, Tommy White, I can't wait for you guys all to meet him. He is a hoot. He's absolutely hilarious. and he just put the title of this, "Why People Don't Like You and Like Me Better." That's the title of it. And the whole thing of it is really just focusing on the 7 deadly creatures to avoid becoming, with a couple of bonus creatures. So I'm going to give you that so you can pass it out to everybody and get an element of the fun, because we like to have fun. Life, yes, it's go build your business, but create memories, create stories. Life is about a collection of stories.
Yeah. We all do it, don't we? I mean, I've just written a book and it's only in first draft, and we ask ourselves from time to time, what constitutes a bestseller? What's behind a bestseller? I can tell you now that in the short time we've had together today, I know why your book's a bestseller. This has been jam-packed with common sense and strategy and the sorts of things that get people from, just getting by to really turning their business around and really thriving. And I'm really excited that we've done this because, we've connected with somebody who's actually on the money. This is the real deal.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time, Curtis.
Well, thank you very much.
It's been great. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Appreciate it.